Aloha everyone, my name is Craig Chi. I'm one of the co-founders of Four Strings at a Time, and I'm so glad to see people enjoying all of the programming we've been putting out, and especially these little mini lessons each month. Now, I'm going to do a really short introduction to one of my favorite kind of techniques called muting and scratching. And we're going to have a multiple part series on this because there's so much we can do with it. It's one of my favorite techniques because it really changes how we think about our projection of the ukulele and the sound that we can achieve. Now, muting, when we break it down, is about when we strum the strings, all we're doing is whatever fingers we have access to. In case of these open strings, I can put all four fingers down, but all I want to do is stop the strings from vibrating. So let's try this together. What we're going to do is we're going to do a down strum and just touch across all four strings. So it's going to go down, mute, down, mute, down, mute, down, mute. Now if we hear this, that means we're hitting way too hard with that left hand and we're getting an accidental hammer on. So make sure when you come down with it, it's going to be a nice light touch. Now let's try ups. Up, mute, rest, rest, 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 up, mute, rest, rest. Good. Now let's actually apply this to some chords. One of the keys that we're going to frequent in this month's ukulele club meeting is the key of F. So we'll hold down an F chord. So 2, open, 1, open. Now we're going to do a down, mute, rest, rest, 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 rest. Good. Again, nice light touch. Now, one of the secrets is once the mute is down, I'm also releasing the tension in these fingers as well. So once my mute is down, there's no tension in my left hand whatsoever. This ensures we don't accidentally hold half of your hand strong while the other two are loose. It's much easier just to relax that left hand once that mute is down. Now we can try up mute with the F. Up, mute, rest, rest, up, mute, rest, rest, up, mute, rest, rest, up, mute, rest, rest. Good. Now what about down, mute, up, mute, rest, rest, 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 down, mute, up, mute, rest, rest. Good. Now, even there, without even adding scratching, if we just focus on the mutes, let's say I was playing a progression in F, and I'm just doing down ups. So do down up, down up, down up, and B flat, down up, and C, which sounds great. So F 4 times, 2, 3, 4, B flat, 1, 2, C, 1, 2. Now I'm going to do the same strum, but I'm going to add the mutes in between. So it's going to sound like this. And all of a sudden, it sounds so different. So I'm going to do one time through without mutes and the one time through with mutes. It's going to sound like this. C. And that's where we can get that really cool sound and that kind of shaping of your sound by creating that with the mute. Now, if you noticed, when I was doing B flat, I didn't have to put my pinky down to mute it. If I'm holding B flat down already, I'm already touching all 4 strings. So that means to get the mute, all I have to do is release the tension. So I squeeze when I do the strum, and then release the tension, squeeze on the up, release the tension. Isn't that nice and easy? Now for the C chord, it's a little bit tricky since I have to bring my pinky all the way over here. And actually, let me do a close up here. So here is, again, I'm keeping my wrist nice and straight, so I'm not having to bend anything weird. If I bend my wrist, my pinky all of a sudden is much farther away as well. So keeping everything nice and close by, I get that nice curve on my ring finger, but I can also bring my pinky in a bit more. See how my wrist stays nice and straight? Now I'm not gonna lie, this is pretty tricky. So what I do typically, if I know I'm in F and I have a 1 chord, an F chord, I have a B flat chord where I can release that tension, I can also move it up 2 frets, 1, 2, and that's my C chord. And same thing here, I can press and then release. And then you can also bring your pinky down if you start using it as a habit. But again, your pinky doesn't have to go through all 4 as long as you're releasing that tension. So here's my F. B flat. C. F. B flat. C. Good job. See, nice and easy. Now, some other chords that other keys we're gonna frequent, I believe, is in C. So that means you'll see again that's C there with the pinky coming across, or C up here, and then you're gonna go typically to a F, a 4 chord, which we already did, and then a 5 chord is typically gonna be your G7. So here's a little tricky part where the pinky does have to take hold of that G string there because it's being open, but these 3 guys can just relax there. So again, we can practice our G7. So C, or C up here, F, G7. Now if you notice my F to G7, these are the little things that really make a difference. There's such a small transition from F to G7. And because of that, when I have my F and my mute down, if I bring my G7, I just have to stretch a little bit further with my pinky to get that G string. So it's really great to see how minimal these transitions really are. Alright, now I think the last key that I think is going to be brought up is an A. So same thing, it's almost like an F, right? It's almost exactly like an F except for the index moving from the C string to the E string. So we have our A chord, 2, 1, 0, 0. Then we have typically a D chord somewhere in there. And again, what's nice about this is that the A string is the only open string that our pinky has to worry about. The rest, I can just release the tension of these 3 fingers. The E7, again, my pinky only has to worry about the open E. And then I can relax the rest of my fingers to create that mute. Now, let's look at that transition really quick. My A, my D, again, there's not much movement. From here, I can even put my ring finger down while I flip these 2 guys. And here, my middle finger is going to be the kind of rock while I maneuver those 2 guys out. So this is a great practice going from D to E7. See that tiny movement between those 2 fingers. Middle finger stays. So even in songs that we're doing that kind of that down, down, up, up, down strum, this is how we can really start creating a very cool variation of that. So I'm doing down, scratch, up, up, down, scratch, up, down, down, up, down, scratch, up, down, scratch, up. So just let's focus on the first three parts. Down, scratch, up. So I'm doing a down. My second down is going to be a scratch. So a scratch, all that is happening is that I have the mute down. And if I was to do a strum, that sound is our scratch. If I was to hold it too tight, I would get that noise, right, which we don't want. So it has to be, again, that mute is nice and light. So it makes a really nice percussive scratch. So it'll be down, scratch, down, scratch. Two downs in a row. Down, 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 scratch, down, scratch, down, scratch. Now down, down, up. So it'll be down, scratch, up. Now down, scratch, up. But I'm going to add a mute after the up. So down, scratch, up. Down, scratch, up, rest, rest. 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 Now from there we can do down, scratch, up, rest, up, down. What was that? Down, down, up, down. Oh, we can do up, down, up. Down, scratch, up, rest, up, 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 down, up. And it's going to be a really cool pattern. To have under your belt to all of a sudden change what you're doing, but not dramatically. Again, your right hand is doing the exact same thing. Down, down, up, down, down, up, down, up. Down, up, down, up. So again, this is where it branches off, and this is what part two will do. We'll do even more variations of this, but for now, just to get the muting under your belt and a little bit of the scratching. But this is also a great way, if you do get lost in a song, oh gee, okay, and being able to go from there, or even kind of catching up on the tempo. So in case you don't know which chord to go to next, you can just do that nice percussive element and be on time, and it's going to sound awesome. And then you can jump back in when you know when the next chord is coming in. So a lot of cool things like that. There's going to be a ton of really fun variations and syncopation that we can do with this too. One of my favorite ways of practicing this technique is actually the 1-4-6. So that means, let's do an F chord for a second. So 2 0 1 0. And what we're going to do is do 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8. So we're going to do 8 strokes, down and ups. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8. Down up, down up, down up, down up, down up. But this time we're only going to let the 1, 4, and 6 ring. So it's going to sound like this. 1, and then we're going to scratch. 2, 3. Ring 4, scratch 5, 6, ring, scratch 7, 8. So the 1, the 4, and 6, we're going to let ring. Everything else will be scratched. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So this is a great way to start working on that syncopation, the 1-4-6, and it's been one of my favorite techniques to teach throughout my whole career. It just adds so many different elements that all of a sudden we can create by utilizing that muting and scratching. Definitely reach out if you have any questions, but a huge thank you for all your support. I hope you get a lot out of this, and stay tuned for a future part 2 on muting and scratching a little bit later. We have a very special club meeting coming up in a few weeks, and it's going to include our normal club, but led by the group Navai. It's going to be fantastic, and we also have a guest concert from Navai, but as well as the Langley Ensemble. So please stay tuned. It's going to be awesome. It's all going to be free. It's all going to be live streamed from the Windward Mall. Thank you to the Windward Mall for being incredible supporters of what we're doing. But thank you all again, and hopefully we'll see you soon. Aloha.